Love Bob Brown's story. And if you don't know doo-wop music, does that mean that this is the time to click us off? Don't you dare, because you'll miss the story of a beautiful man. 30 years ago, he had one of the smoothest sounds around. He was probably background music at your town's Lover's Lane. So who is this man, and why does he deserve our attention? Here's Bob's report.
Get on the march, get ready, and go!
To the children at New York City's Public School 87, Mr. Earl, or Speedo, whichever name they know him by, is the kind of playful and sympathetic adult friend they might have imagined for themselves if he didn't really exist. They know him because he is one of the school custodians, but he's also a man with a past, with another identity.
December 11th.
His real name is Earl Carroll, but the kids like that other name, Speedo, a nickname he picked up one night back in the 50s.
Some people call me Speedo.
Oh, what's your real name, Mr. Who? Oh, sing it one more time.
Naughty officer call me Speedo, but my real name is Caesar.
Hello.
Earl Carroll was, in fact, the lead singer on this 1955 hit song called Speedo, based on a nickname given him by a member of the group he was singing with, the Cadillacs. They were stylists of the harmonies we know as doo-wop. Harmonies that were echoing everywhere when Earl was a young man in school and answered their call in a clear tenor voice.
Everybody had a little group in those days, you know. That was the real street corner singing, you know, under the lampposts, in the hallways. Wherever you can get that little echo sound. Everybody did it. Good old doo-wop sound, street corner singing.
After a few years with the Cadillacs, Earl went on to join the Coasters in the 1960s, and he sang with that group on hits like Love Potion No. 9.
Don't play that song for me. It brings back memories.
But like a lot of young performers who went off on the road, Earl didn't finish school. And he didn't know enough about negotiating the business details that might have protected his income in the future.
It wasn't about the money, really. It was for the love of singing. See, we're talking about 25, 30 years ago. And jobs then were paying 50 cents an hour, something like $32.50 a week, and they took tax out of that. Yeah. So from that to the limelight and making a little bit more money was like a heaven, you know. And then you did what you really loved to do. So.
But you never got rich off of it?
Oh, no.
When Earl finally left the Coasters, after nearly 3 decades in music, he found there weren't a lot of new jobs available for a group singer, and he decided to go after something he'd neglected back when he first started out. He decided to take an equivalency test and get his high school diploma. That's how he became acquainted with the staff members of this school in 1982, a year when he also needed a job.
I got in good with the custodian staff. I was offered a job. Say, well, Earl, would you like to try this? And I said, well, I'll give it a try. You know, what the hell, I ain't got nothing to lose.
When Earl started here, the kids had no idea of who he was, other than a man who helped keep their school clean. But everyone discovered quickly that he had a rare talent. It was the talent for establishing instant rapport with these children, for being their friend. And that was something the teachers noticed, too.
You can't fool a young child, and young children know who really care about them and really have their feelings and emotions at heart. And he does, and he shows it to them constantly, that he cares in his actions and the things that he says to them.
Hello, darling.
The problems that the kids have are the same problems we had when we were kids in school. And there's some touching stories here, too. You know, it's not all laughing games. One of my kids' mother just died. And I didn't know, and he said, Earl, and he's smiling, you know, I would never know from one day to the next, and he said, yes, Earl, well, you know, I just lost my mom. Oh, man, and that really, you know, it's a sad situation, but we deal with it and try to keep his mind off and keep him on the right track and go straight ahead.
Yes, certainly, certainly.
But from what I've seen, you treat every child pretty special.
They all my children. All this is the real all my children here. We have 900 wonderful children. They're a big part of my life.
The Wiz, that's your cut buddy, ain't it?
Betty?
Yep.
What's up, Charles?
Well, I thought y'all had a little... Okay.
I love it. They keep me young.
I love you.
You love me? I love you, too.
After
Thanks,
coming to know Earl first as a friend and custodian, the kids at PS 87 then began to fit together some pieces of his legendary past.
Please be my girlfriend. I wanna be your lover, lover boy. Baby doll, please fill my heart with joy. Oh, little girl, say yes. I tell you. Yes, yes.
About 2.5 years ago, Earl and another original member, Bobby Phillips, decided to reform the Cadillacs. And the school was a great place to practice. You remember why. Any place the music echoes.
Girlfriend. Yeah. One little spot that I almost slipped up on, man.
And the Cadillacs learned they'd been gone, but not forgotten.
All right, one more time.
Especially in places where they had their first taste of the big time in the early 50s, like Harlem's Apollo Theater.
Well, let's rock and roll, guys. How about
We saw the Cadillacs perform at the Apollo in late spring, and although Earl is now 50 years old, he can easily wear the same type of outfit, make the same moves he made as a teenager.
Well, now, some may call me Mo, some may call me Joe. That's remember Speedo, he don't have to take it slow. Speedo, Speedo, real little mister. Yeah, yeah.
How many times have you figure you've sung Speedo over the years?
Oh, my God, it must at least a couple of million, at least.
How do you manage that after so many
I think
times?
it's the hat and cane that really turns me on. I'm a different guy when I put on my hat and cane. I'm somewhat of a ham anyway, so with a little personality and a half a voice, you can make it.
In 1985, just a few months after the Cadillacs had gotten back together, they were on a televised rock and roll revival show from here at the Apollo. And that's what provided dramatic evidence to the kids back at PS 87 that their school day friend and janitor was also a star.
They're just amazed. They say, Earl, I can't understand. What are you doing here? You got a broom or mop, and I just seen you on television, and the double life they can't seem to relate with. You know, what are you doing here with us? I can't understand it.
What do you tell them?
Well, I tell them it's a good job. It's an honest job. The pay is good. The benefits is fantastic. And that's the joy of being around them.
This June graduation ceremony was a landmark of sorts for Earl and the kids. The fifth graders who are leaving PS 87 to go on to middle school started here in the first grade the year Earl came here too. They've shared their days with Earl, and before they left, it was Earl's turn, finally, to share a stage with them, to give them his version of a graduation speech.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I guess we all can agree that children are the world's greatest resource, huh? And I'm so proud of all my children and the job PS 87 has done with them. All my children. And I never thought I'd feel this way. But as far as I'm concerned, I'm glad I got this chance to say that I do believe I love you. And if we should ever stray apart, well then close your eyes and know these words are coming from my heart. And then if you can remember, keep smiling, keep shining, knowing you can't always count on me. For sure, that's what friends are for. In good times and bad times, I'll be on your side forevermore. That's what friends are for.
It's a beautiful situation that I got put in.
I love you and good luck in the oncoming years.
I'm just so proud to be a part of it.
Now he often call me Speedo, but my real name is Mr. Earl.
Let's say you have a hit record, and would you give up this job again to go back into music full time?
I give it up, but I'll always come back. If I make it, if I don't, I'm gonna be here, one way or the other.
It's very touching. You know, it really is. And it's I must say, a good picture of a New York public school, and one that a lot of people may be surprised at.
You tend
know?
to have an image of New York public schools as being the blackboard jungle, but that was really a wonderful place.
You know, I don't know whether I hope that he makes it or he doesn't make it because of these
I think
kids.
everybody has mixed feelings about that. He's built up such a great relationship with the community. They helped raise money with a concert for a playground for the school, and the principal says that's now the best playground in New York City. But he is recording. He would like to have a hit record, and you have to wish him well on that, too.
Well, we do.